Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Panther, the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG, and this one's on the north spawn of mines under the command of Scrappey. Now it's called Count Dracula. He's got a black cape, the jaws up front, and the red lining, the velvet lining to his cape. Yes, he is the vampire himself. And in fact, actually, this vehicle did have the nickname of Dracula. So Rusty made it for us. That's a 15cm howitzer with a reload time of about 25 seconds and an alpha damage of 680. And we're going off to the usual position in the corner of the map, whilst one of the other Arties is headed off. In fact, that's an M43, I think, headed for the Nigel spot. Okay, ready to go. And there's a wheelie straight away. Managed to move all the way up the map, and he's got wiped out very quickly. Very silly thing to do. Yep, I'm afraid, you see, all you do is if you come out and try and YOLO into the enemy lines like that, you are going to make yourself a primary target for any Arty player who happens to be looking, because obviously they are the new nemesis for Arty players. But as soon as they've been wiped out, then we deal with the other tanks. Right, well, we fire at the corner of that house, but hit the house itself. This is an encounter game. There's an E25 just behind that house. He might be in the cap actually, but he's been cap blocked at the moment, and we've just changed position to get shots onto a progetto on the island to the south of us. Okay, extending aim. It's nice. There's a Panther there as well. We can't spot anymore because we do have an AMX 1375 nearby, but I don't think he could see behind the rock. Right, Panther. Round out. And it's a hit. 224 hit points, but we're going to have to move forward to the rock just in case the enemy decides to counter battery us. Now, 25 seconds or thereabouts for reload. You can probably get that down to about 23 to 22 if you've got a good crew with a rammer, gun lane drive, BIA, all helps. Okay, can we get a shot into the Panther? We might be able to splash him if he gets low enough hit points and moves towards the edge. Now he's close. Oh, well, we stunned him, but we didn't get the kill. And we are capping in the cap at the moment, but the enemy is getting resets. Okay, pulling back for another try. And the Panther has been killed, so we don't need to worry about him anymore. There is a progetto somewhere around. He was seen on that corner. In fact, actually, the progetto moved over to the castle grounds, and we fire around at the P43 turret, falls short. So we don't get anything off that shot at all. We're changing position. Now we can shoot up over the rock at the enemy if they're in the castle grounds, if we can shoot through the gaps. The P43 turret has gone onto the other side of the mountain, or the castle rather. I can't get a shot at that T28, but the progetto was at the entrance to the castle grounds, and he was actually, it appeared to be looking on the north slope, or the north entrance, but it looks to me like Scrappey is going to counter battery. Now, usually on counter battery, it sometimes helps to go to overhead view. He's just fired on a speculative shot at the bushes in the back. If you go to overhead view, it makes it much easier to see exactly where the enemy Arty is when their tracer appears. Also, if it's an encounter game, they're much more likely to be over that side. And yes, he just saw the tracer from one of the Arties, fires a round in. Not sure that was exactly on the spot. I think they are behind the bushes. Right next door to the house, just behind the bushes. Overhead view would show them. There's two Arty. One's the Lorraine 15551, the other one's the Lorraine 15550. He's fired at the bushes this time. Hits the house instead. So RNG's not being with us there. The Scorpion's just moved into the cap, and the 1375 is under threat, but he's just always trying to get a shot onto the Scorpion and just been blown up. So the enemy's now capping. Scrappy's getting ready to shoot that Scorpion. If he can get a shot around the corner, he'll get a reset. The T-43 has flipped. Oh no! He's on his side by the castle. We're dialing in on the Lorraine 15550. He's been seen at the back of the map. Now we can get the splash kill if we can get the shell near him. Round out. This should be good. It is. And there's the other Arty. It's the Lorraine 15551, but oh, and he's gone behind the rock for protection. So they obviously moved after Scrappey fired in that corner. He must have scared them away, and they went into the center. If Scrappey can get this kill, that's a counter battery, and he got him. So he's got a counter battery medal off that. There's still 4 enemies alive though, including that Scorpion G in the cap. Now he was last seen just slightly at the far end towards the right behind that house. Our T-34-2GFT is moving into the cap zone. Tiger P, south approach, should be able to get a direct hit. Round out. Fell short. The AMX 1375 is going to shoot him in the butt. Or is that, no, he's actually shooting in the front because he's not reversing away. Okay, we're 2/3 of the way through the load cycle, and the AMX 1375 can't see the Tiger P anymore, but we're working out where he's going to be and dialing in on that position, hoping that we can spot him before he kills the 1375. Oh, he's going in for the kill. Well, we did get a shot onto the Tiger P, badly damaged him, but the 1375 was killed by the T-43. And we actually did splash the AMX 1375, so we did some damage. We're going to get fined for that. Well, it's now 4 versus 3 to Arty. We've got Scrappey and the M43, and also a Noobs and a T-34-2G who's capping at the moment versus the T-43. There's Scorpion G who's retreated from the cap, and an 87. Now, as I mentioned in a previous game, it normally takes 320 seconds to cap out on an encounter game. It's supposed to, by the book, take 2.5 times the normal period it takes to cap for a standard game, and that's 100 seconds or 1 minute 40 seconds. Okay, well, he's confirmed with the M40. They did the affirmative, so I'm wondering if they're deciding that they want to go to the cap, and the cap's been reset. And the Scorpion and the T-43 have both gone in together, so Scrappy's going to try and stun the T-43. We fire a round in, and oh well, we stunned him. And that might change in future games. You might not be able to stun somebody at the extreme edge of the field of fire or the impact point. Okay, going for the 87 instead. Round out. This should be a direct hit. It is 293, but the T-34-2GFT is now in a bit of a pickle. He's caught between the rock and a hard place. Well, the 87 just took another hit. And we're almost loaded and go for the T-43. Rounds out. This should be a... Oh, we just lost the T-34-2G. T-43 got him. T-34-2G is out. And that means it's now 3 versus 3. And that means that the Arties are going to have to try and, if they can, get some shots onto the spots where the enemy's seen. All the units is going to have to go down and spot for the Arty and try and get tell us where they are so we can put some shells into them. I know that T-43 is a one-shot. If we can splash him. He was right in that corner. Round out. Well, he's not there now. He moved. We're reloading. Udes is moving close. He's found the AT-7. Took a hit. We're not loaded yet. The M43 is going to be firing from one side. There's the Scorpion G. Can you get a shot into him? Round out. He pulls back just after we fired, but the M43 gets him. Udes is highlighting where they are. He's doing a great job spotting. The AT-7 is out of the cap. The other two tanks are capping. We're loaded, ready to go. And we've hit the AT-7, or rather stunned him. And there's the T-43 again. We know where he is. He is a splash kill, so if we can put a shell at the gate, well, the M43 tried it. We're loaded. Rounds out on that spot. And we got him. We killed the T-43. So we've reduced the cap points. And there's the Scorpion G trying to get a shot on the Udes. Oh, and he killed him. So it's 2 Arty versus 2 tank destroyers. This is where it gets interesting. The AT-7 is staying out of the cap. We fired around him where we think he is. And no, he's not there. It's at times like this, obviously, you realise that the view range of Arty is not that great, but both of them have stopped capping, and that's significant because the time has passed for them to cap out. So they're going to have to kill both Arty if they want to win this game. At least it's past the time for capping out if it's just one capping. If they both cap, they can still do it. Now, the chassis of the GW Panther is a Panther tank, or rather I should say the hull of a GW Panther is the Panther tank. But they couldn't actually go ahead and build this Arty simply because the Waffenant wouldn't let the Arty manufacturers put together the prototypes. They wanted all the hulls for use as Panther tanks. Here he comes. And shotgun! Yep. Try not to get too close to an Arty when he's loaded, because you can finally get absolutely wiped out. That Scorpion made a classic error. Classic. He was spotted, he was close, and we overwhelmed him with our 15cm howitzer. Now that might change if Wargaming goes ahead and changes the game. You might have thought that 2 Arty would be vulnerable to 2 tank destroyers, but if they're good players and they know what they're doing, they can take out the opposition. So it's just the AT-7 now. And he's low on hit points as well. And here he comes. Here he comes. He's going to make the same mistake. And now it's up to the M40 to get the kill. And he does. And that's a win for the Arty. Nicely done. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a first class tanker for Scrappey and the GW Panther. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 18. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in total. And he got both of the enemy Arty, which means he picked up the counter battery fire medal. And of course he had the satisfaction of taking out that Scorpion at the end. They made a bad error. They really should have just capped. It would have been very, very difficult for the Arty to approach the cap, to get a reset, try and find out where the enemy was, and more than likely if one of them had gone to the cap, then one of them would have died, and that would have just left one Arty to do the resets. Let's have a look at team score. Well, didn't get the highest amount of damage in that game. That actually went to the T28 on the enemy team, 2,680 hit points. He didn't get the high caliber either for some reason. The next highest score was the IS-3A, got 2,649, and then we've got this M43 player who got 2,511. Scrappey managed to get 1,657 out of that game. But when it came to kills, he got the highest amount. He got 5 kills. The Scorpion managed to get 4. And then we've got the M43 with 3 kills, as well as the T43. When it came to base experience points, it was Scrappey. He was bottom tier, so he actually managed to pick up quite a lot with 1,098 base. The A44 got 936, and then the M43 got 931. Scrappey fired 23 rounds in that game, got 5 direct hits, but no penetration. Splash damage on 18, and damage of 1,657 hit points, of which 1,166 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously, the other close stuff was the AT7 and the Scorpion G at close range. He did receive 1 hit. It was a penetration, unfortunately, but he did cause 37 hit points of damage to the AMX 1375 when he tried to take out that Tiger P. So he did do some damage. He's going to get fined for that. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and did stun assistance damage of 766 hit points off 12 stuns, and managed to get 4 defense points by getting resets. On a free-to-play account, he earned 24,707 credits, and he had a personal reserves bonus of 12,170, but he was fined 368 for hitting his teammate, so his total came to 36,509, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 9,215. On the XP side, he earned 1,098 base. He had a personal reserve bonus for the same running, for 100%, and took away 2,196 altogether. So a pretty satisfying end, especially shotgunning the Scorpion G right in the face. What an error to make. You really shouldn't have done that. Don't underestimate the power of a high caliber gun if you get close to it. They can really make you regret that decision. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.